Okay, Mr. Rudra. Mr. Rudra, today we'll be doing May-June 2020 paper. Uh, these are the questions that we won't be doing today. Question number 2 is of transformation. Question number 3 is statistics. Question number 7 is probability. This is what we'll be doing in the next part. Mr. Rudra, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Rudra, how will we do question number 1?
We have to multiply 54 into 15 and 18 into 25.
54 into 15 plus 18 into 25. Mr. Rudra, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So you will get the answer. Okay. Mr. Rudra, in September, the total income at the campsite was 37,054. There was a decrease of 4.5% on the total income in August. Calculate the total income in August. How will we do this, Mr. Rudra?
37054 divided by in bracket 1 minus 4.5 by 100.
Okay. Mr. Rudra, see, there are two, three ways in which we can do this question. And I'll try to explain the methods. Okay. One thing that you can assume is that let total income in August is $100. Therefore, September income would be, see, there's a decrease of 4.5%. So September income, there is a decrease of 4.5%. That means that the income in September would be equal to 100 minus 4.5% of 100. Mr. Rudra, have you understood? 100 minus 4.5 is equal to 95.5. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
So if we use unitary method, what I can say is that if my September income is $95.5, my August income was $100. If September is $1, August will be 100 upon 95.5. And if my September is 37,054, August income will be 100 upon 95.5 into 37,054. Mr. Rudra, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Mr. Rudra, in the C part, the visitors to the campsite today are in the ratio of men is to women, 5 is to 4, women is to children, 3 is to 7. Calculate the ratio of men, women, children in its simplest form. Mr. Rudra, how can we do this? Okay. Mr. Rudra, let us look at this question. So man is to woman is 5 is to 4 and woman is to children is 3 is to 7. Now, in all these questions, the easy way of doing these questions is that this woman is common on both sides. And what you can do is, if you make this number common, how to make this number common? You can take the LCM of 4 and 3. The LCM is 12. So basically what I need to do is, I need to make this and this, both of these as 12. And how do I do that? I have 5 by 4. I write 5 by 4 as its equivalent fraction. So 5 by 4's equivalent fraction is 15 by 12. Woman is to children. The equivalent fraction, I need a equivalent fraction of 3 by 7 such that the numerator is 12. So the equivalent fraction of 3 by 7 would be equal to 12 by 28 because I have multiplied the numerator by 4. therefore denominator also by 4. So the trick is that the woman on both sides, woman is 12 here and woman is 12 here. So now what I have is, if I want to find the ratio of men is to women is to children, what I need to do is men is to women is 15 is to 12, 15 is to 12, and women is to children is 12 is to 28. 12 is to 28. Mr. Rudra, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
So you can note this down. Men is to women is to children is 12 is to 15 is to 28. Mr. Rudra, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So the next part is the next part is today there are double two four children at the campsite. Calculate the number of men and women. Mr. Rudra, how can we calculate this? There are 224 children at the campsite. So the ratio of children is 28. So this would be equal to double two four. So this would be equal to, and this would be equal to. Now the simple trick that you can use is, because this ratio should be the same, this ratio of men is to women is to children should remain 15 is to 12 is to 24. So the trick is, divide double two four by 28. Divide double two four by 28. Mr. Rudra, what is the answer that you get?
8.
This implies that 28 into 8 is to double two four. So you need to multiply 12 also by 8 and 15 also by 8. Mr. Rudra, any doubt?
No, sir.
So the answer that I will get here is 8 5 the 40 120, and this will be 96. So the number of men and women that you have is 120 and 96, and the total number would be equal to 120 plus 96, 216. Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt?
No, sir.
So Mr. Rudra, when I divide 120 is to 96 is to 224, I will get this ratio again. Mr. Rudra, have you understood the logic?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Okay. Okay. Let us see the next question. So Mr. Rudra, the space allowed for each tent in this rectangle measures 8 meter by 6 meter, each correct to the nearest meter. Calculate the upper bound for the area of the space allowed for each tent. So the maximum, now this is correct. The measurement is correct to the nearest meter. So this 8 meter maximum can be 8.5 meter, and this 6 meter maximum allowed value is 6.5 meter, because if this was 8.6 meter, the value that will get captured is 9 meter. Mr. Rudra, any doubt?
No, sir.
6.5 is the maximum value this can have, because if this was 6.6 meter, the value that will get measured is 7 meter. So that is why 8.5 is the maximum value here, 6.5 meter is the maximum value here, and therefore the upper bound for the area is 8.5 into 6.5 is equal to 55.25 meter square. Mr. Rudra, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. In the next part, in the next part, Value of campsite has increased exponentially by 1.5% every year since it's opened 30 years ago. See, in this case, what we can do is we have studied this formula in the compound interest chapter, that amount is principal 1 plus r upon 100 into t. The same formula is being used here. The only difference is that this amount will become the present value. The principal is the value of this property which was 30 years ago. So this is the past, the 30 years ago value. And R is the rate at which the value of the campsite is increasing. Because it is increasing, that is why we have a positive here. If this was decreasing, we will be having a negative here. Mr. Rudra, any doubt?
No, sir.
So if this was decreasing, you would have used negative here. You would have written this as 1.1.5 raised to power 30. Mr. Rudra, any doubt?
No, sir.
Because it is increasing, we have a positive here. The time that we have is 30 years, so time will come here. So when I add this will become, so this is the formula that I have. This is the formula that I have. Now, the question is calculate the value of the campsite now, that is present, as a percentage of its value 30 years ago. So basically, I want the value, the present value now as a percentage of its value, which in our case we have assumed to be this past. So the percentage is present upon past into 100. So all I need to do is I can bring this past here, multiply by 100, multiply the right hand side also by 100, and the answer that I will get is 1.563 into 100 is equal to 156.3%. Now 156.3% implies that the value of the campsite has increased by 156.3% of its value 30 years back. Mr. Rudra, any doubt?
No, sir.
Nice, very nice. Okay. Mr. Rudra, we won't be doing question number 2 and question number 3 in this part. We'll be going directly to question number 4. Mr. Rudra, how can we do question number 4?
3m minus 8m and minus 5 minus 12.
Okay. So, Mr. Rudra, what we'll do is, see, you shouldn't be changing this sign. What this implies is this will remain like this. I will bring my 3m here. So this will become 8m minus 3m, and minus will come on that side. So it will become 12 plus 5. So 5m is 5m is greater than equal to 17. Again, I don't change this greater than equal to sign. I don't change this sign. I just keep changing the numbers on both sides. So this will remain like this. I will take this 5 this side. Now this is 5 into m. So when this 5 goes on the left hand side, it will become 17 upon 5, and this will be m. So my answer would be m is greater than equal to 17 by 5. Mr. Rudra, any doubt?
No, sir.
Nice, sir. Mr. Rudra, how will I solve this? Mr. Rudra,
Cross multiplying
cross
14 into
multiplication.
3.
Shabash. Cross multiplication. Cross multiplication. So it will be 2x plus 5 into 15 is equal to 14 into 3 minus x. So this will be 30x plus 75 is equal to 42 minus 14x. This will be 54x is equal to 42 minus 75. This will be x is equal to minus 5 minus 2 is 3 upon 54. Sorry. Sorry. This will be 30. This will be 30x plus 14x. Sorry, it will be 44. This will be 44. So this will be, Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt?
No, sir.
So this will be minus 3 upon 4. Mr. Rudra, is this the answer? Minus 3 by 4?
Yes.
Okay, nice. Okay. Solve the simultaneous equations. You must show all your workings. Okay. Mr. Rudra, how can we do this?
We can substitute y's value into second equation.
Shabash. So what you can do is you can, whatever you want, you can substitute the value of y or you can substitute the value of x, whatever you are comfortable with. So for example, if I substitute the value of y, this will be equal to x square plus 2 4 minus x whole square is equal to 67. Mr. Rudra, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So this will be 16 plus x square minus 8x is equal to 67. This will be x square plus 32 plus 2x square minus 16x is equal to 67. So this will be 3x square minus 16x. This, it will be 32 minus 67 because 67 will come on the left hand side and it will become negative. So this will be equal to minus 35. Mr. Rudra, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rudra, how can I solve this?
Factorization.
Mr. Rudra, factorization will be difficult. Were you able to make the factors? Mr. Rudra, in all these cases, it is better to use this formula. Minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Mr. Rudra, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rudra, it's in quadratic equations like these. In quadratic equations like these, with such big numbers, it becomes difficult to factorize. And because you can use calculator, so it is always better that you use this formula. So for example, when I use this formula, basically what this means is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So minus b implies minus 16 plus minus b square minus 16 square minus 4ac upon whole upon twice of a. Mr. Rudra, what is the answer that you got? Mr. Rudra?
Not in this question.
Okay. So, Mr. Rudra, the formula is minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Now, minus b, this is my b is minus 16. My b square will be minus 16 square. My a is 3. And my c is minus 35. Mr. Rudra, any doubt?
No, sir.
So when I solve this, this becomes plus, this becomes plus, this becomes plus. This is 676 upon 6. Now I will get, see, what we are calculating here, we are calculating the two values of x, the two values of x, and the two values of x that I get is, the two values of x that I get is, this will be 7 and this will be minus 5 by 3. Now minus 5 by 3 in terms of decimal, I can write it as 1 minus 1.67. So the value of, the two values of x that I have got is 7 and minus 1.67. Now what you need to remember is that initially your y is equal to 4 minus x. So whatever, so because you have got two values of x, so from each value of x you will be getting a value of y. So y is equal to 4 minus x, and therefore for x is equal to 7, my y is minus 3, and for x is equal to minus 1.67, my y is plus 5.67. Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt? Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt?
No, sir.
And if we compare these answers with the one given in the mark sheet, see, in your mark sheet, what they have done is they have kept this as fractions. Mr. Rudra, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 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 Mr. Rudra, how should we do this?
X
So,
plus 3 into 4x minus 5 plus x plus 1.
shabash, shabash, shabash. See, whole of this is 2x. This is x plus 3. This is x plus 3. Therefore, I need to calculate this. And this will be equal to 2x minus x plus 3. Mr. Rudra, any doubt?
No, sir.
So this will be x minus 3. So if I have to find the area of this will be x plus 1 into x minus 3. This is area of AFE. Let me let me call this G. This point as G. So this is the area of AFEG, whatever be the area. And the area of this figure, let me change the color. The area of this whole figure, the area of this whole figure, that is GDCP would be equal to x plus 3 into 4x minus 5. Mr. Rudra, any doubt?
No, sir.
And why am I doing this? Because the total area of the shape is 342 centimeters square. Mr. Rudra, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
So basically what we need to do is, we need to calculate this. We need to calculate this. We need to sum both of these. So I need to sum this with this. So 1 plus 2 would be equal to, Mr. Rudra,
X
340,
plus.
342. Mr. Rudra, any doubt?
No, sir.
Now let us calculate the value of 1 and 2. So Mr. Rudra, what we are doing is, when we solve this x plus 1 into x minus 3, the answer that we get is, x square minus 2x minus 3. Mr. Rudra, is there an issue?
No, sir.
And when I find the area of GDCB, the area that I will get is x plus 3 into 4x minus 5. When I solve this, 4x square minus 5x plus 12x minus 15, and this will be equal to 4x square plus 7x minus 15. So this is the value of the second area. So I need to add this 4x square plus 7x minus 15. I need to add this with the with this x square minus 2x minus 3. And when I add this, the answer that I get is 5x square plus 5x minus 360. I can take a 5 outside because 5 is common, and the final answer that I will get is x square plus x minus 72 is equal to 0, and that is what I need to prove. Mr. Rudra, is there any issue?
No, sir.
Okay, perfect. Now, what will be the factors, Mr. Rudra? Mr. Rudra, the trick is that you can take a LCM of 72, and from here you can try to make two numbers because we require two numbers here. So what will be the two numbers, Mr. Rudra? Mr. Rudra, is there any doubt?
No, sir.
So the two numbers will be 8 and 9. And when I factorize, it will be Mr. Rudra, therefore x would be equal to
Minus 9 and plus 8.
minus 9 and 8 or 8. Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
This will be x can be minus 8 or x can be 8. So these are the two roots. Okay. Okay. Work out the perimeter of the shape A, B, C, D, E, F. How can we find this? Mr. Rudra. So, Mr. Rudra, we have found two values of x, minus 9 and 8. Mr. Rudra, can x be minus 9?
No, sir.
Why, sir? Sir, if x is minus 9, this will become minus 18. So we need to cancel this. We need to consider only 8 when we have to find the perimeter. Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt?
No, sir.
So this will become 16. This will become 9. This will become 4 into 8 minus 5 is equal to 32 minus 5 is equal to 27. This is 16. This is 9. This will be equal to 8 plus 3 is 11. So Rudra, is there a doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, when I need to find the perimeter, whole of this is 16, this is 11, so this will be 5. Whole of this is 27, this is 9, so this will be 16. So my perimeter would be 16 plus 27 plus 11 plus 16 plus 5 plus 9. Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt?
ED will be 18.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
ED.
E,
ED.
ED. 27 minus 9 would be 18. Yes, sir, you are right. Yes, sir. So this will be 18. So it will be 16 plus 27 plus 11 plus 18. Thank you, Mr. Rudra. 18 plus 5 plus 9. So this will be the answer. Now the next part, Mr. Rudra, is that find the angle DBC. How can we find the angle DBC? DBC. How can we find this angle, Mr. Rudra?
DCB is 90 degree.
Yes, sir. This is 90 degree.
By sine rule, we can find out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The easy the easy thing to do would be you can find the value of tan theta. Tan theta is perpendicular upon base. So this is 11 upon 27. And then you can find the inverse of 11 by 27. Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt?
No, sir.
See, in the next part, this is what they want. They want the angle DBC. So angle DBC, the easier option is to find the tan theta. So tan theta is 11 by 27. If you find the inverse, you will have the value of theta. Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt?
No, sir.
Great, sir. Okay. Mr. Rudra, how can we do this? Question number 6. So let us try to understand the question first. The diagram shows triangle ABC with point G inside. So this is the G inside. CB is 11 centimeter. CG is 5.3. BG is 6.9. Angle CAB is 42 degree. ACG is 54 degree. Okay. And you need to find the value of X. Mr. Rudra, how can you find the value of X? Mr. Rudra,
Yes, sir.
how can you find the value of X? So, Mr. Rudra, for solving this question, we need to understand the application of the cosine rule. Application of the cosine rule. Now, in cosine rule, if there is a triangle ABC and I want to find the value of cos of A, then cos of A is the square of the length of the sides of the adjacent sides of the angle that you want to find. So for example, if I want to find cos A, then I'll be taking B square plus C square and subtracted from the square of the opposite side. Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt?
No, sir.
So for example, if I had to find the value of cos C, I would have written this as A square plus B square minus C square whole upon 2AB. Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt?
No, sir.
So divide by 2BC. Now, when I put the values, I put the values of B, C, A, in this case, I will be putting the value of the adjacent side. So I'll be putting the value of 5.3 square and 11 square. This will be added, and the subtracted part will be the side which is opposite to this angle, the angle that we need to find. Divide by the same divide by twice of the adjacent side. So adjacent sides are 5.3 into 11. Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt?
No, sir.
So when I calculate this, I get the value 0.87. And when I find the inverse of 0.87, the answer that I get is 29.5 degree. Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt? Okay, now the second part is calculate AC. The second part is calculate AC. So when we need to calculate AC, Mr. Rudra, what do you think? How can we calculate AC?
We have ACB angle.
We have ACB. Yes, sir. This is 29.
CAB.
So the angle ACB is equal to 54 degree plus 29.5 degree is equal to 83.5 degrees. So we have ACB, Mr. Rudra. Then what do we do?
We have CAB also.
We have CAB also. Yes, sir, we have that also. We need to find this side. We need to find AC. So Mr. Rudra, we have the value of x. X we have found it to be 29.5 degree. Therefore, whole of angle ACB would be 54 degree plus x degree. This will be 83.5 degree. Now 42 degree is already given. So we have this, we have whole of this. So we can find this 180 degree minus 42 degree plus 83.5 degree. So value of CBA is 54.5 degree. Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt? Now I need to find this. For this, I need to understand another formula which is called the sine formula. The sine formula. The sine formula is that if I have a triangle ABC, then the side opposite to angle A would be small a. This is actually the length of A. This is the length of A. The side opposite to C would be small c. This is the length of C. The side opposite angle B would be small b, which is the length of this side. Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt?
No, sir.
So basically, A, B, C are the length of the sides. Length of sides that are opposite to angle A, angle B, and angle C. In the cos formula also, the same thing was applicable, that A was the side, small a was a side which was opposite to angle A, small b was a side which is opposite to angle B, and small c is the side which is opposite to angle C. Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt?
No, sir.
So in this, so this is called the cos formula. Cos A is equal to B square plus C square minus A square upon 2BC, and this is called the sine formula. The sine formula is A upon sine A is equal to B upon sine B is equal to C upon sine C, where A, B, C are the length of the side. Mr. Rudra, any doubt?
No, sir.
So these two formulas are very, very important, especially when you are dealing with non-right triangles. So for example, if I have triangles like these, when I have triangles like these, right triangle. Now here finding the angles becomes very easy because I can apply sine, cos, tan, the basic formula. Sine is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse, base upon hypotenuse, perpendicular upon base. Here the here only these formulas are applicable, and the life is very easy. Life becomes difficult when I have a non-right triangle. I have a triangle like this. Here if I have to find the angle or the sides, these two formulas help a lot. So when I apply A upon sine A is equal to B upon sine B to find the length of side AC. Now in this case, let us try to understand that I have this angle B. Angle B is 54.5, and that is what I have written here. Angle B is 54.5. Now 54.5. The side opposite this angle is B, which is my unknown. And I can take a known. Angle A is my known 42 degree, and the side opposite to 42 degree is 11 centimeters. So this is also my known. So using this formula, I can find the value of B. Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt?
No, sir.
So B will be equal to sine 54.5 degree into 11 whole divided by sine 42 degree. Sir, is there a doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Rudra will do another part, and the rest we'll do in the second part of this video. So let us try to understand this question. Water flows at a speed of 20 centimeter per second along a rectangular channel into a lake. Okay, so this is my channel. Water is flowing, let us assume it is flowing this side at a speed of 20 centimeter per second. This channel is rectangular. This is my channel. Okay. The width of the channel is 15 centimeter. This is the width. The depth of the water is 2.5 centimeter. Okay. Calculate the amount of water that flows from the channel into the lake in 1 hour. Mr. Rudra, how can we do this?
So we have to multiply 25 into 15.
So, Mr. Rudra, see, in this question, what you need to understand is that per second, per second, that is in 1 second, in 1 second, this would be the length. This would be the length of water that you will be having. The length will be 20 centimeter. Mr. Rudra, is there any doubt?
No, sir.
So, Mr. Rudra, this is the length that you will get in 1 second. Now, in that 1 second, this width will not change and this length will not change. So, basically, in 1 second, you will have 20 into 2.5 into 15 centimeter cube of water. Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt?
No, sir.
So in 1 second, you will have 20 into 2.5 into 15 centimeter cube. This is the volume of water that you will be having in this channel. The water that you require is 1 hour. 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt?
No, sir.
So in 3600 seconds, the volume of water that you will be having is 20 into 2.5 into 15 into 3600. This is the answer that you will be getting in centimeter cube. Mr. Rudra, is there a doubt?
No, sir.
The final answer that we want is in liters. Mr. Rudra. So, Mr. Rudra, this is a conversion that we have. That 1000 centimeter cube is 1 liter. Now, in 1 hour, the answer in liters would be 20 into 2.5 into 15 into 3600 whole divided by 1000, and this would be the number of liters that I'll be having. Mr. Rudra, is there a problem?
No, sir.